Amen.
I thank God that I'm the lucky person.
Amen.
I joined this church in 2017 towards the end, like October. The first testimony that I just came here, it was a Sunday evening. I just came here to just to fellowship with some of my friends invited me. I came to fellowship. And since that day, thank God that I've become a member of this church. And not and not only that, that I've become a minister in this church. I thank God for that. That is the first testimony in this place. During in that same year, we had a crusade, end of year crusade at First Primary School. When I joined this church, I had terrible diabetes and pressure, and I had been born again for a long time, but I was still struggling with those two diseases, and then I had fibroids. Then in 2017, when we went to Kisasi, that is when I was healed of diabetes.
Amen.
I thank God. When I tell you diabetes, my diabetes was very high. But for me, I continued with what the doctor had stopped me drinking sugar and what I continued with the sweet things. But I thank God that towards that crusade, I got healed. That was my first testimony in this place. Then I continued with the, during that year, I was healed diabetes and pressure. And the pressure was very high. When I tell you, so it was like every time it was 180 over 110. For those who know those readings, you know what it means. Then I remained with the fibroid. That one, I stayed with it, but I kept praying for it. Then in 2018, we had a crusade at Komamboga grounds. During that year, I had very terrible, the fibroids was becoming worse and I was bleeding a lot. For women, you know what it means when you are bleeding non-stop. I went to my doctor in Tinda, Independent Hospital, in December, like 20th, I think. When I reached there and I had a scan, my gynecologist told me that you have to be operated immediately. In fact, he wanted to be, it was 18th, then he told me that I'm checking you in by 20th, you have to be operated upon because your fibroid is too big and it's like septic sort of. Then I came, I said, God, I said no. And that time I had the money to go for the operation. They were asking for me like 7 million for an operation. I had that money with me. But when I came, I went immediately to Daddy, crying with the results and everything. I said, Daddy, I have to go for an operation on the 20th of this month before Christmas. Then I said, but for me, I'm not going to be accepted to be operated upon. I said, I have this money with me, cash. Let me give it to you. Let us use it for the crusade, and God will heal me. I took that step of faith, and all my sisters were on my case. I said because I have many doctors in the family, so they were saying, no, you are going that, you are going maybe to be, the fibroids are going to be cancerous. But I said no, I've already, because even the money, even I had already given it to Daddy by then. So in 2019, I went for a scan. I went to the same clinic where they had scanned me. And then the doctor was amazed. He said, how come that there are no fibroids? I said, but you are the same people who...
Amen. Amen.
In fact, that doctor was surprised because he's a Mzungu. So he was saying, he had never seen such a scenario. But I thank God that I was healed. And then in 2020, I had a very terrible accident. We're coming from Fort Portal from a barrier, and our car overturned. If you look where the car came from the road up down, many people were saying, oh, these people have died, nobody will survive. But my brother was the one driving. You had a Pajero short chassis, but you can imagine it was overturned and the wheels were up and it was upside down. So everybody came there knowing that, but nobody came out with even a bruise. I thank God for that.
Amen.
And in the spiritual world, I thank God that when I came to this place, I learned how to pray for a long time. I never used to experience that during my journey of salvation. And I thank God that I used to know the Bible, the stories of the Bible. I can say them, but I never used to know exactly where the scripture are. But I thank God that now in that field, at least I've gone up. And another thing, when you come to this place, if you have a bad skin, everything, now you can see me, I've changed.
Yeah.
And if you are overweight, this place can really trim you and you become the size you want. So please make sure that this place beautifies you and makes you young. So some of you even you can't guess how old I am, but I'm a very old woman. I thank God for that. May God give you all the glory.
Kubira Yesu engalo ez'amaanyi. Haleluya. Amafuta agali mu kifo kino gagenda kukwata emyaka egibadde gitantamukira egibadde gitumbeerera. Gagikwate gagikendeeze mu linnya lya Yesu. Oteekeddwa kudda buto. Basigale nga babala myaka nenga bode. Mukama yeebazibwe. Haleluya. Twebaza Katonda ku lw'obujulizi. Oyo sente yazirina ezaali zisobola okumulongoosa ebizimba. Ne bw'ogenda ne bakulongoosa ebizimba, automatically omubiri bamaze okuguddamu ejjinga. Mukama yeebazibwe. Yadde babikulongooseza ate bimala ne bikomawo. We bakulongoosa bimala ne bikomawo. Naye bwe yaziteekayo mu maaso ga Mukama ne ziweereza Katonda, Katonda yamulongoosa ebizimba nga tamulekedde na nkovu. Abasawo ne beewuunya kibaawo kitya. Mukama yeebazibwe. Ebitasoboka eri abaana b'abantu bisoboka eri Katonda wo mu kifo kino. Haleluya. Nange neebaza Katonda. Mukama yeebazibwe. Najja wano nayina ekirwadde ekyali kyannemerako. Bakiyita ringworm. Oluwumu. Mukama yeebazibwe. Nali nagula eddagala lyonna erya buli kika nga nejjanjaba ne bigaana. Nenkola buli kimu ne baŋŋamba naaba kino kola biwoti genda ogula eddagala. Nengula eddagala. Nenga oligula ne lumala ne lubulawo okumala ndoza mwezi nga gumu. Wagenda oyitawo mwezi nga gumu. Ogenda olanga bikomye bikubye bipaapi. Mukama yeebazibwe. Ne bwe najja mu kifo kino neefuuka ensonga yange. Nengamba Mukama, sisobola kubanga mbeera ewantu w'okolera ebyamagero. Nange nensigala n'ekintu ekyo. Bassebo ne bannyabo nkijjukidde na leero. Kitutte emyaka kati ndoza giringa 2 miramba muzeeyi. Nga sikyalina kiri lulinga omwezi gumu ng'ogendera ng'obuntu bukubye ate kiswaza. Mukama yeebazibwe. Nene bwe kiba kiswaza, Katonda waffe amala n'akikwatako n'akijjawo. Oyinza okulaba ng'ekintu ekitono, naye waliwo endwadde eziswaza ate nga si nnyangu siziruma nti eruma, naye nga eri abantu omuntu bw'akulaba nayo waliwo kategori gy'akuteekamu. Waliwo ekifaananyi kyatandika okulowooleza naye nga kikuluma ng'onoonya amagezi gonna agasobola okukijjako nga tokiyina. Ne neebaza Katonda wo mu kifo kino. Eyo ensonga nayo yagimulungula. Nampa kasikini akalinga akaba bebi. Kati mwabatakubye mu ngalo temukkiriza. Nenze neemanyi bwe nali. Mukama yeebazibwe. katonda nkubye ripeya according bwe nali he repaired me. Hallelujah. Erinnya lya Mukama lyebazibwe. Mukama yebazibwe. Sanyu oli okay? Sanyu yango tuwerezeyo oluyimba lumu lwokka era nsabe baluteekeyo kati.
Mukama